Alrighty. Greetings, Facebook friends, and Sieg coming at you on Tuesday, December 27th, couple of days after Christmas. And my Christmas was kind of interesting, and my Christmas Eve. We just moved south, and so we have no family here. And yes, we're making friends already, but more or less we were alone, my husband and I, on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So what did we do on those 2 days? Well, we did a number of activities, but one of them is we continued our unpacking. And that is going to bring the topic that I want to talk to you about today is how to become a master of your craft. All right, so my husband set outside my office, it was about 8 boxes of stuff for me to unpack that's in Anne's office. And I'm like, oh boy. I knew there was going to be boxes there that were from our last move to Arkansas that made their way up to Minnesota and back again and were never reopened. So I thought, okay, let's do this. So Christmas Eve, my husband and I in the living room spent about 2-3 hours, just both of us going through our business boxes and unpacking. And I came across boxes from when I first came online. And I was in a particular program. And I have to say, it really laid down a very solid foundation for me. And it was actually pretty natural for me to move into that training. One, I love training, but it was a very systematic approach. And it was really about gaining mastery. You know, and people wonder why they're not having success and why things aren't working for them. And a lot of times it's traced back to the fact that they haven't gained mastery at perhaps some of the most foundational skill sets that they need to get them to where they want to go. And by the way, what I'm going to share with you, this applies for anything in life. It's not just for entrepreneurs and business owners. If you're a sports athlete, you name it. All of life kind of seems to hinge around this whole thing about gaining mastery. So anyways, here we go. I got to show you something. So this is a 3-ring binder. Now see the width of it? And what does it say? Completed sales call guides. Oh, but you know what? I have another one. Let me hold that one up. And let's see. Yep, there it is. Completed sales call guides. Right there. So between these they represent literally thousands and thousands of phone calls. And at that time, I was in a quest to learn how to gain mastery on the phone in the sales and recruiting process, which is a foundational part of marketing. And I'm really glad I started in that way because there's no better way to gain data and more so an understanding, especially at an emotional level, than through being on the phone with people or face-to-face. But here in this case, I was calling virtually thousands of people. So what I had was a form. Look like this. There's my form. And I would go and I would print these out, and I would print out, 300 at a time, maybe. And then when I did my phone dial, so here's with this particular gal, I've got 4 pages of notes. And then at the top of my sales call guide, it says, so-and-so will sign up in 2 weeks. So I was learning how to do sales and recruiting through the consultative selling approach. And then I also had this, and it's my weekly stats progress report. Very, very detailed, and if you can see, I was filling in my numbers, and I did this religiously, very methodically, because I was extremely dedicated to learning my craft. And I was busy at that time. I was helping to run my husband's windshield business. We were doing real estate investment, and I was homeschooling my 3 boys. And then I went on this crazy journey to improve my skills online. And this is what it started with. Okay, so let me just share with you that one more time because I'm really trying to impress upon you the importance. So that's just one of my 3-ring binders. Now, normally today we would be doing this all digitally and you'd have an app, and some software and all that kind of stuff. But myself, I actually learn and engage at a different level when I'm doing things physically. So for example, whenever I'm on a call with my staff or other people, and I'm a business call, that is, I have a dedicated notebook, a spiral notebook that I take notes in because I've got to be taking notes. Now, not everybody is wired to do that. Some people have told me I can't talk or I can't even listen and write notes at the same time. That's okay. For me, that's how I'm wired. But all to say, I'm very dedicated to what I do. And that is what leads to success. So when I was learning this to master how to do the consultative selling approach online, like I say, I said I did thousands and thousands of calls. And it really was so helpful because it helped me with the foundation of understanding how to relate to people, how to ask clarifying questions, and ultimately how to lead them into a decision that they could own and feel good about and create a win-win relationship and decision as I was doing sales and recruiting. And I am so glad for that experience. So what does this mean for you? Okay, I don't know where you're at in your life. And relative to, like I put in my title, this is for success. So there you stand, and there stands success somewhere out in the future, and you want that piece of success. And sometimes it seems to evade you, and there then, hopefully, in your inquiring mind, you're trying to figure out, well, why? Why is it this zigzaggy line, and I just want to get to XYZ success? Okay, I would say you need some kind of a formula, a pathway, a system, a blueprint that has already been proven to work for somebody else, and then you step into that. Does that make sense? So that was the case for me. They had the certification program. It was all laid out. I really liked it because you couldn't get certified unless you met certain criteria, performance criteria. Because I don't want just some bogus certificate that says, oh, good on you, you learned how to do XYZ. No, I wanted certification because I had actual real world accomplishments. So that's why I signed up for that particular program, is you couldn't get certified unless you met a certain amount of sales volume. So that gave me the focus, the target to shoot for, the exact number of people I needed to recruit in order to get certified. And they gave me the blueprint and the pathway to reach it. And I just stepped into that thing and I followed it. And my goal was to create mastery. Now, the cool thing about that is when you understand what is bedrock to success and that you have to gain mastery, you get to apply that over and over and over again, that same formula that, now, for me in this case, it worked. And I reached big accomplishments and I got certified. Okay. Tracing it years prior to that, it's what worked for me in the sports world as a young child. And that was when I had to track how many push-ups did I do that day, how many sit-ups, how many pull-ups, leg lifts, all that kind of a thing. And I tracked everything. And that was my gauge so that instead of me saying, well, how come I can't, why am I not good at this? Well, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. They either are or they aren't. So now I'm going to bring it home to maybe some of my e-commerce business school community members are also watching this. But I'm really hoping that this has a universal application for whomever you are, of one of my Facebook friends, that you can take something away from this and you can actually create a regimen and follow in that regimen until you gain mastery. And I got to tell you, it is every bit worth doing. And the discipline that is behind it this sheet. It took time for me to fill out this sheet at the end of every week. And then I faxed it into my coach at that time. And then there would be this evaluation of my work, etc. It took a lot of dedication and discipline and fortitude. And beyond that, I had a really big driving ambition. I was going to get my husband home. And guess what? I did. I got my husband home. I don't know what your big why is or what your big goal is, but fundamentally, you're going to have to master certain tasks, certain things in order to get to success. Back to my e-commerce business school members. So specifically, there's a group in my community, our Sourcing China Home Study System members. You know who you are. What do they have to master? They have to master the 5-step formula for evaluating products for the Amazon Marketplace. The 5-step formula. And I told them, I said, you have to go through this like a drill. You have to, and they have a sheet. It's sort of like a sheet like this. It's actually even prettier. It's got red and green and yellow. And when it's green in 5 criteria, boom, boom, you got a winner. Looks like you got a great product that you can source and sell on Amazon. And so that's what I have currently going on for a group of my members inside my e-commerce business school. So they get to follow in the footsteps of someone who created this powerful formula and just do it and do it religiously. I mean, I wonder if they would be willing to fill out, as this is, I don't know, a couple hundred forms. Would they do that? I don't know. And behind each one of these forms that I have for these sales call guides, I would say that represents maybe 20 dials until I got an appointment scheduled and got on the phone. 20 dials. So I had to track all my dials, how many people answered, how many voicemail messages, a ton of discipline. So for my folks going through that particular, the 5-step formula, do they set the timer? I did. I clocked everything. Do they say, well, I'm going to devote an hour every day to mastering the craft of knowing how to evaluate products for Amazon or whatever it is. Whatever it is you're trying to master, you just fill in the blanks. And then find a blueprint. Find someone who's doing what you want to accomplish. Get that blueprint from them, whatever they're calling it, their success formula, and then get super disciplined about it. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope there was some value to you. For me, this is from, by the way, about 12 years ago that I had this. And by the way, this sheet was fun. I pulled it out. It says, I am 100% independent of so-and-so's leads. I was getting leads from someone at that time. And then it says, I am on my own, smiley face. And then a highlight, they had a little space there for your highlight of the week and all that kind of a thing. So this was just fun to pull out and go, wow, I remember that. I actually remember that. So do you track your pathway to success as you are seeking to master your craft? That's the challenge I want to put forth to you. So I hope that you found value. It was fun to connect with you guys. Go out and get them. Go out and get them. The world is yours to have. You just have to go out and get them. It's really all on you to make that decision. So have a great day, everybody. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.